Hey people, it is Thursday, April the 17th. The time is 4:26 in the afternoon. I think it's around 12 Celsius, but there's a bit of a cool wind blowing. Speaking of cool, I'm here with
Hello.
a familiar face. Megan has joined me for another walk.
I'm here again.
We're heading down to Union Station just like last time. She got off work, but this time we're going to alter the route a bit, just so we don't do a complete do-over of our last walk.
Yes. Although that might be fine. It is warmer now.
And how are you doing?
You know, I'm good. A little tired, but you know, otherwise pretty good.
Yeah, work is going good?
Oh yeah, work is fine.
That's good.
Yeah, finally getting used to the commute. So only, like 6 months later, 7 months later. But how long have I been there? I don't even know. But yeah, no, work's going really great. I was just telling Ken that I was a little late leaving today because I was talking to the head of the HR department about doing a presentation about neurodivergence in the workplace, and she really loved the idea. So in the next couple of weeks, I will be giving a presentation to the senior leadership team about how they can support their neurodivergent employees. So I'm really excited about that.
Awesome. It's nice to have something to be excited about concerning work.
Yeah, exactly.
How often does that happen?
I know. Well, I'm super passionate about it because ever since my diagnosis, I've been learning everything I can about autism and OCD and ADHD. So I feel like I'm a walking encyclopedia now.
Right. There's
still a lot to learn, obviously, but I feel like I have a good working knowledge to be here's how you can support your neurodivergent employees. And I know for sure that I'm not the only one.
If there's one thing I know about you is when you become interested in a topic, you literally devour every single bit of information on the face of the earth about it.
Yes. Do you know what that is? That's autism.
Right.
That is the tism speaking.
Right.
That's what that is. That is a tism that I have. Yes. It is a strength and a challenge. But yes, I've been reading literally every book about neurodivergence that I can find. So I feel like I'm qualified to give a basic level
I guess we don't have
presentation. Yeah, no, we're fine. I frequently cross the street without a light, so.
Right. So we just left University Avenue and we're going to head over to an alternate path here. So, you were saying that you like to hear some details about my recent
yes.
episode or misadventure, whatever you want to call it, inside my apartment. Yeah,
because I did not realize that they were actually inside. When you said inside your apartment, I thought you meant inside your apartment building.
Right.
I didn't mean they were literally inside your apartment.
Inside my actual apartment unit.
That's wild. So, what happened? Tell me the whole story.
Well, I was just chilling at home. I was going to be heading out to stream and record a video. So I was planning to stream at 5:30, as I often do. But I wanted to record a video before the stream, and I was going to start up in Midtown. So I was going to leave my place at around 4 o'clock.
Right.
To head out and get up there. I have time to do all that. And sometime between 3:30 and 3:45, I heard people out in the hallway knocking on doors. They knocked on my door, then they knocked on my neighbor's door and my other neighbor's door.
Oh my God.
All on my floor. And at first I thought it was just some salesperson from Rogers or something like that, you know?
Right.
So I was I'm just going to ignore it.
Yeah,
I don't want to answer that.
who else would be knocking on your door?
Exactly.
Regularly?
Usually it's only stuff like that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I was just no, I'm not answering that. But then a couple other people answered, and I heard them out in the hallway through my door and going this is the Toronto police, blah, 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 blah. And I was the police? What the heck? What are they knocking on my door for and my neighbor's doors? So I was thinking maybe I should just pretend I'm not home. Right?
Well, it's a good thing you didn't.
Yeah, and then I was and then I heard them talking, and it seemed like some sort of situation, and I was aware of my downstairs neighbor being problematic for quite some time, over a year. You were aware of him even, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh God, I remember that guy. Yeah.
Always making a lot of noise down there. So I thought, okay, I'll answer the door. I'll see what's going on. So I answered the door, and then there's a cop there, and there's a few other cops standing behind him in tactical gear.
Oh my God.
And he goes
Should we go down?
Hello, sir, you're not in trouble. Yeah, we'll go down here. It's like, you're not in trouble. I'm like, well, I didn't think I was in trouble.
Exactly.
Like, I'm just sitting in my apartment. Why would I be in trouble?
Right.
And then he basically asked if they could possibly come inside my apartment to see if my window was useful to them, because they wanted to perhaps use my window to carry out an operation
Oh my God.
involving the unit below mine. Right? And I was like, wow, okay, what?
Sure. Did you like ask if you could film them, or did you just do it?
I just set up the camera and just started recording without saying anything.
Right.
But first, I said, okay, you can come in, and we had to like move things around a bit, like my computer desk was in front of my window, and all that. And I was like, this is the only window that opens to the air. The other ones have screens on them,
Right.
So we had to move things, and they accidentally knocked some things over, and I was like, oh no. And then, so we managed to move it out of the way. And that window wasn't very big, the one that opens, and the cop that was intending to use the window was huge. And I'm thinking, how is this guy going to fit through this window, And then some other cops came in, they're all dressed in their tactical gear. And then they brought in some equipment, like a rope and this metal bar, and they started like putting the metal bar in front of my door frame where my front door is.
Holy shit.
To like brace it,
Holy shit.
And then they have like the rope attached to it, and then the cop attaches himself to the rope.
Holy shit, what if they damaged your door frame?
Well, I guess they didn't. It seems okay.
But like, what if they had?
I don't know. I guess yeah, good question. I don't know.
Like, you would have had to just live with a damaged door frame until until they decided to fix it. Like, what?
So then it became apparent to me that this guy's planning to like rappel out my window, right?
Oh my God.
And go into the window below mine, because I guess the door to the apartment below mine, the front door, like the entry door was probably barricaded or something. They couldn't get in down there, right? And I heard some noises coming from downstairs, and I was like, oh God, what's this guy doing? Like, what did he do to warrant this response,
Yeah, seriously.
Like, what's going on down there?
I guuld they didn't say.
No, they didn't say. No.
Oh, that's too bad. I would have been like, sure, you can use my window, but I want to know why.
Right?
What'd the guy do? I'll trade you a favor for a favor. Tell me everything and you can use my window.
So I was just like standing and watching for like 15, 20 minutes. And then when it looked like they were getting ready to maybe do the maneuver, I was like, I should record this, man, And I waited until they sort of weren't paying attention. Like, they kept like stepping away for a minute, and like talking to each other and going out in the hallway and then coming back in, So when they stepped out for a moment, I like grabbed my camera and everything, and I like set it up and propped it up in a way that would get a view towards the window.
Right, and then because I saw it, because your camera looked like it was not quite hidden, but like sort of at an angle, so that's why I wondered, like, did they know if you were filming them or not?
Yeah, and it's small, as so I thought maybe they won't even notice it just sitting there on the table, right? On my little table by the door, right?
Right.
And my laptop was there too, sort of not directly in front of it, but beside it, and I thought, well, maybe this laptop will distract their vision or their view of the camera a little bit. I don't know. Anyway, I just thought, I'm not going to ask, because if I ask, they might say no, even if they don't have the right to say no.
Right.
Because they don't, as far as I know, right? Like,
right. Yeah, exactly.
You can record police doing anything as long as you don't interfere with what they're doing, right? You can record them all you want. And especially inside my own apartment, right?
Yeah, that's like a transparency thing.
Yeah.
Like, they're supposed to have body cams on them anyway, so, it's not really anything that's not already happening.
Right. So I thought, okay, I'm just going to start recording. If they say something, I'll just deal with the situation, but if they don't, fine. So I started, and they didn't seem to notice, or if they did notice, they didn't care, because they never mentioned anything. They didn't even seem to look at the camera at all, So then I just was standing over there, letting it all play out. And the guy was like, at one point, like securing or testing the rope to see how secure it was. And then he like kind of climbed up on my windowsill, like to practice how he would possibly maybe get out the window, and all that. So then I was just thinking, man, like,
That's so intense.
Is this going to like actually happen, you know? So that just went on and on. The cops were talking to themselves. You know, it's all in the video. They're just talking to each other, talking on walkie-talkies, observing the guy down below with a mirror out my window so they could peek into his apartment to see what he's doing and stuff like that. And then just when I thought maybe it was time for them to actually do the maneuver, the rappelling or whatever it's called, I heard a big commotion coming from downstairs, like a big boom, bang, a bunch of noises and yelling and stuff. So it was obvious something pretty major just happened right below. And I think what happened was they managed to get his door open.
Oh, they probably busted it open.
Yeah.
That makes
so they
sense.
entered his apartment down there through the door.
Holy shit.
And then they relayed up to the other guys in my apartment, you know, what happened. And then basically they said, okay, that's it, we got him. So then the cop suddenly just closed my window and they started packing up, you know, and I was like, oh, I guess that's it.
Oh my God. So like how long did the whole thing take?
No more than an hour or so.
That's like a while. Do you want to go this way or this way?
We'll just go, let's go over here. We'll go this way.
But like, did they say like who called the cops on that guy?
No, they didn't say anything.
Damn.
Yeah, they're pretty tight-lipped. At one point, before they came into my apartment, when they were talking to my neighbor, he was like all belligerent, I guess you could say.
And wouldn't let them in?
Well, no, he was asking them like, why are you here? I live here.
Right.
You know, what are you doing? Like, you don't have the right to do this and stuff like that. And they're like, well, we do, you know, I mean.
We gotta arrest this guy.
Yeah.
So like.
But the guy was being really belligerent towards them, like, like questioning, like, what are they doing disturbing his home and his peace and all that stuff like that, right? I'm thinking, well, dude, they're not going into your apartment.
No. They're just like trying to.
They're in the hallway, dude. They're coming into my apartment, dude. They're not bothering you.
Yeah, that's right.
Jeez.
And also, like, if they're getting rid of the guy who is bothering everybody, wouldn't you want to help with that?
Yeah, yeah.
Even if it slightly inconveniences you, wouldn't, like, you want to be like, I mean, sure.
Right.
That's fine. That's wild.
So, yeah, then they just kind of left. But then I had to, like, put my apartment back in order again, you know, like move everything back and do a bit of cleanup because they were just walking around with their boots and stuff, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. But then after that, I was like, did that really happen? Like, you know, and then I thought, well, it's on video. It happened, yeah.
It did happen.
Yeah.
It was not a fever dream.
Yeah.
That's wild. Yeah, I saw them with like the boots in your apartment and my first thought was like, oh, you must be losing your mind right now. Like.
Well, luckily it wasn't like winter when it was all slushy and gross out, so there wasn't really much of a mess or anything on my floor at all, actually.
I would not be able to handle that.
Their boots were dry, so that was good.
Yeah, exactly.
Just a little bit of like dusty, sandy remnants here and there, you know? Yeah.
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 Yeah, I would not have been able to handle that.
We're just walking past Nathan Phillips Square. So we're heading to Union Station, if I didn't notice that, or mention that, I should say, just like last time.
Which is always where we're headed when I'm in a video.
Right?
Always then, always now. I'm always headed to Union Station. For some reason.
So this video, you know, it's been up for a couple days now. It just has over 5,200, 5,300 views, which it's not as many as I thought, you know, but I don't think the algorithm has picked it up. I think that's just my regular subscribers who are watching it.
Right.
So hopefully it gets sort of picked up by the YouTube algorithm. And
yeah, like I've noticed it's really small too. Like my last two videos have not done as well as my other videos have. Like, so I'm noticing that like it's harder for the algorithm to like pick things up. So I don't know what I'm gonna do about that. But yeah, like I posted a video like a few weeks ago on my diagnosis and like also like some common signs that you might be also neurodivergent. And then yesterday I posted a video on the intersection of like being neurodivergent and being queer and why the two things go hand in hand so often.
so you have a new video.
I have a new video, go check it out. Shameless self-plug. I need the views.
Meghan Sandor.
Come on people, I need the views.
On YouTube, Meghan Sandor.
If you're ADHD, you might be queer. Go check it out. Go find out. But But yeah, like yeah, so I posted that and I researched it for like a month and just like not doing as well. And I'm like, oh, I thought for sure that like videos about being neurodivergent would do well because so many people are.
Well, there's always the possibility that like in a month or two or whatever, it might suddenly start getting views, like that happens, right?
Yeah, exactly. That is a thing.
Yeah.
So who knows?
All right, we're just crossing Queen. We're heading down York Street now.
I still get like a lot of action on some of the videos I posted like a year ago, and some of like my early like queer content is getting tons of views, like have like hundreds of thousands of views on them. Mm-hmm. Like some of my newer stuff is not getting as many views.
Right.
But also I haven't been posting that often like since I got this job because I just haven't had as much time. But yeah, it's tough right now.
Yeah, things are a bit low right now, I think, on YouTube. Like revenue is a bit
it's a bit down.
Low, like the RPMs are a bit low.
Yeah. Like I didn't make my revenue for April and I didn't make my revenue for February.
Right.
So like I'm now only getting paid like every 2 months from YouTube.
Oh.
So whereas before like I was making pretty decent money for a while. Like there was one point when like
because you had a few videos that
that
blew
went,
up a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. I was like doing pretty well. And then it just has slowed down a lot. Which is fine, but like, it'd be nice if it did a little better. Oh my god.
Alright, just crossed Richmond Street. Alright, are we making good time?
I hope so. No, I'm gonna miss that train.
What? Why? What time is it?
It's 4:43.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss that train.
Well, when's the next one then?
A half hour later. So, my god.
What the hell is that guy doing?
I don't know. he's got like a, I don't know.
Goldstein, don't worry about it.
Oh, okay.
And how's Bonsai doing?
Not so great. He's starting to... Did I tell you we had to take him off chemo?
I don't think so.
Yeah, so that last chemo drug, it was like our last... Like he wasn't responding to like any of the chemo drugs that we tried, or he would have like a partial response to some of them and then it would stop working. And so they had like one more drug that they could give us and we tried it and he had like a partial response but like not enough for them to warrant doing a second round of it because it's also really hard on his liver. So we had to take him off chemo about a month ago and put him on palliative care. So he's just on steroids now to like manage his appetite and energy levels. So he's still like eating really well. And like he still like comes to the door and greets me when I come home and like he can still like get up and down the stairs by himself and like he's doing okay like energy wise, but the lymph nodes under his chin have gotten so big that it's starting to affect his breathing. And so like when he breathes it like sounds like he's snoring.
Oh.
So I have an appointment with the vet oncologist on Monday and I'm just gonna get them to like assess his breathing and like his oxygen levels because like when his lymph nodes started getting really big, I asked the vet oncologist about that and she was like, well, they're lymph nodes, so like it doesn't actually like obstruct his airway because it grows up towards his ears. It doesn't grow like in towards his throat.
Right.
So it shouldn't actually be obstructing his airway. So like even though he's making the snoring sounds, it doesn't necessarily mean that he's not breathing or that he's not getting enough oxygen. It just means that like the oxygen has to go kind of a different way. So I was like, okay, but like that still concerns me because it's like worse now than it's ever been. So I want them to like see how much oxygen he's getting and like if he's starting to not be able to breathe, then we might have to let him go like pretty soon.
Oh,
So that's been rough.
yeah.
But yeah,
Make sure you give him lots of pats and snuggles every night.
yeah. No, at this point he can just have whatever he wants. Like,
Right.
if he's hungry and he wants food, he can have whatever he wants. You know, like I'm not. If he wants to sleep on the bed, like underneath my chin, he can do that. Like
Yeah.
I don't care. He can do whatever he wants at this point. So yeah, and like yeah, I've just noticed that like, because when we took him off the chemo about a month ago, the vet told us that typically they see dogs only lasting about a month or two
Yeah.
after they take them off chemo. So he's at about that halfway mark. So
Oh, wow.
we might have to say goodbye in the next few weeks.
Oh, no.
So yeah, that's been rough. Yeah. But like, you know, like in a weird way, like I know it's gonna be hard like when it actually happens.
Mentally preparing yourself.
But yeah, like I mean I've been like mentally preparing myself since January,
Yeah.
right, when he was diagnosed. Like so I'm I'm mentally prepared. But I know that like you're never actually prepared for it when it actually happens. It's gonna be really hard. But yeah, and like I've talked to my boss about it and he said that, like when it's time I can take bereavement leave, so I don't have to worry about like going to work or anything
Okay.
in the middle of all that, which is really nice. So yeah.
And he'll live on in a couple of my videos at least, right?
That's right.
We have the one where we take him on a walk through your
right.
neighborhood in Guelph.
That's right.
Yeah.
And the one where there was that thunderstorm
Yeah.
at my old apartment,
Yeah.
and he got really freaked out.
Right.
So that one. And like I've been taking lots of pictures and like somewhat less lately because I don't want to remember him when he was sick. Like I want to remember him when he was healthy and well.
Yeah.
But like I'm still taking pictures every now and again.
Yeah, it'll be sad to look at a picture of him where he's frail,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's lost like so much weight. So he eats more than like he has more calories a day than I do at this point.
Wow.
But he's still losing weight. Like you can see like all of the vertebrae on his spine stick out.
Right.
And like you're starting to be able to see his rib cage. And like he's lost all of his muscle mass, so his legs shake when he walks. And he's just really frail. So I think probably the next month or so. And like I also don't want him to suffer either. Like I'm not gonna wait to the point where he's like clearly and obviously suffering. Like right now, like aside from the breathing thing, he still seems to be like pretty happy and energetic. And like he still eats like voraciously. He still has a lot of energy. He went on like a 2-kilometer walk with us last weekend and like lasted the whole time. So, it's just always like, do we do it before he starts to suffer or do we wait until it's starting to go downhill more? And that, like, it's just hard to make that call.
Yeah. Well, we're here with all the commuter crush now.
Yep, everyone is. Oh my god.
Say hi.
Hi.
Right, there's a good thumbnail.
Oh my god. All right, come on, light, let's go. I missed that train for sure. Yeah, so I'll do the next one.
Probably might have had to leave like about 10 minutes earlier than we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That level.
guess there's a hockey game today.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I never know about these things until I see people walking around with hockey jerseys on, you know?
Yeah, same.
It's like, oh, I guess there's a hockey game. Or a basketball game or whatever.
I know, because like I don't keep track of that. Like
I don't follow it at all, so.
I don't know when people play games. I don't know when sports ball is happening.
We'll have some time to chill and talk some more anyway before the train. Yeah.
Exactly.
Some non-video talk.
Okay.
Talk about the juicy stuff.
The juicy stuff. All the stuff people can't know about off camera.
Right.
So, I got an Apple Watch and I've been like obsessively tracking my steps.
Oh yeah?
And you'd be surprised at how many steps you take in a day.
How many?
Like I average like 10 to 12,000 steps per day.
Really? How?
I don't know. I
You're
literally
just
have no
sitting
idea.
in your office most of the
I
day.
know.
How
I
do you
have
do
no
that?
idea. I credit my anxiety personally, never letting me sit still. But like, yeah, no, I like, cause like, you know, like the fitness rings, right?
Yeah.
Like the goal is to like fill in the rings every day. So there's like one for calories burned, one for steps taken, and one for like standing time. So I've been like consistently filling in my rings every single day.
What the heck? Sometimes I only get 10 or 12,000 steps in a day, and I record walking videos.
I know.
How is that possible?
I guess I don't sit still as much as I think I do. But then when I like boil it down, I do get up and move an awful lot because like ADHD, I can't sit in one place very long unless I'm like hyper focused on something. And I'm very rarely hyper focused on my work. So I'm like always getting up and moving like every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So that accounts for why I get so many steps in.
Well, if I have a day where I just record one video and I don't do a live stream, it might be like around that many steps. But if it's a day where I do a live stream and record some videos, then it's like a 25,000 step day. Right?
That's a lot of steps. I don't think I've ever done that many steps in a
Like
day. But
the last time I live streamed on Monday, it was a 20,000+ step day.
that's insane.
Yeah.
Where did you live stream?
I started downtown near my place and walked up to Midtown.
That's, wow. That's not even that far, and that was like 22,000 steps.
But then I recorded a
25,000
video after the live stream. Yeah, so
Wow.
yeah. And I took a meandering route also when I went up there. So
I guess that'll do it. That'll bring your step count like
Yeah.
to the top.
yeah.
All right, I just have to text Soph really quick and let her know that I'm gonna be late.
Very unusually at 9.
The Bay Concourse once again. Ooh, it's hot in here. Actually, I'm going to live stream after this video after you head out. Megan is texting. Well, maybe I'll start to wrap up this video actually. I see we're just about at a half an hour of video time. So I hope you all enjoyed another walk with Megan, where I met up with her after she got off work and we made our way down to Union Station. This time we took a slightly different route, walking along Gerrard Street and Elizabeth Street and past City Hall and down York Street, just to end up at the same place we always do. So leave a comment down below if you enjoyed the walk and talk. And check out Megan's new video on her channel, Megan Sandor.
Yes. Check out my channel, please, please. Begging for views here.
Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff for my channel and her channel as well. And if you'd like to support the channel, there are links in the description where you can do so via PayPal as well as via my merch store. Or you can also support the channel by becoming a channel member or by sending a super thanks if you prefer. And you can find me on Instagram also under K Continuum. And you can find Meghan also on her Instagram under Meghan Sandor. So thanks for watching, and thanks to all the channel members. And be sure to keep checking back because, as always, we will continue.